Okay, welcome to my first Blender tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a cactus. Um, you have to pay attention down here in the bottom left hand corner of the Blender window where this mouse icon is. You'll be able to see what hotkeys I'm pressing and what mouse keys I'm pressing. But don't rely completely on this because some keys, such as binding to the X, Y, or Z axis, do not show. Okay, so we open up Blender. This is our starting file, the box, the useless box. Obviously, a box does not resemble a cactus, so we're going to go ahead and delete this and click OK. I find it easily personally to work in the orthogonal view. So if we press numpad 5, that will switch us to orthogonal projection mode. 1 will bring us to forward view, 3 the side, 7 the top. So we want to make sure that our little cursor is centered in the screen. And then if we do Shift A, it'll bring up the add window. And here, um, actually, oops, Shift A, there we go. Yeah, cylinder. I'm going to want to scale this. If you hold the control key, see the keys are not displaying there, that I have the control key held. It will lock it as we move it to finite spaces on the grid, and we want to do that so it just snaps the grid correctly. And let's zoom in, and we'll go ahead and scale this bad boy down. And once again, we'll lock it, so I'll hold the control key. And also locking it, send it back down to the origin. Okay, so we need to enter edit mode, hit tab, change it to face selection, select the top of the cactus. And then what we'll do is we'll start to make the cactus bulge a little, since cactuses tend to have thin roots and then they bulge. E to extrude, S to scale some more. E to extrude, S to scale. And then we're going to just keep doing the same kind of thing. Like so, E to extrude, S to scale. Kind of make a nice curve body. And then at the top, I know Mike, you were asking me how to round the top of this cactus off, and I'm sure you can see where I'm going to go with this. I'm just going to extrude, scale, just kind of do it by eye. See, that looks a little too rough, so do a couple more steps. There is a smoothing feature in Blender. I don't really use it that often. So just control stuff right here. Bring it to a point instead of taking this up and point down. And that will give us the base to our cactus. So this is what we'll have our little branches spawn off of. So now we need to move our cursor to a point where we want to spawn a branch, and then spawn a branch right here and have it kind of scoop up. So I put my cursor there, and then I go in the side view and make sure it's dead center, because we want it along this axis so our cylinder is centered when we spawn it. So now what we're going to do, we're going to zoom in, we're going to do Shift A again, and since we're already in edit mode, it only gives us these options. This is the menu I was expecting to see earlier. Cylinder. Scale it down to the root size of the arm. Rotate by clicking R and then hold Control to make it snap in place. Move it like that. And then it's important that this edge of the cylinder is not visible, that it's actually within. See right here it's visible, but right there it's within. So you want to make sure that it's within the cactus. I suppose a more proper way of doing this would be to actually delete that face and bind the vertices to these vertices, so it's all one object. But for this case, we don't really care that there's going to be some polygons in there. The player shouldn't be inside the cactus anyways. So now I'm going to select the end of the arm, I'm going to do the same kind of procedure. Blender's very big on manipulation via extrusion. So I'm just going to use the combination of keys extrude, E, and R, rotate, extrude, E, R, rotate, extrude, E, R, rotate, extrude, E, R, rotate. I know by the end of this tutorial you're going to really hate my voice, but it is what it is. Make that nice and straight, and I'll extrude this a little bit. What do you think about that tall? And I'll zoom in so we can make a nice smooth top. Extrude again. S the scale. That's way too high. Something like that. Down a little. And that looks just about right. So now what I'm going to do is a little trick. I'm going to select one of the surfaces on our little arm here. I'm going to click L twice to select all the linked surfaces to that. I'm going to click Shift D, duplicate it, and then I'm going to scale it such that it's inverse. So I'm going to click S to scale, hold the Control key, and inverse it like that. Actually, that's kind of dorky. Let me undo that. Control Z. Let's try again. S, then I'm going to click X to make sure that it's bound to the X-axis. And you see here the little hotkey window did not display that I clicked X, but if you look in the status bar down here, where my mouse is hovering, you'll see that an X is indeed there. We want to hold the Control key to make sure that it locks to keep the same size as the other side. And then while holding the Control key, left click, replace the object, hold the Control key again, we'll move it in. I'm going to move this one a little bit down on the cactus to make it a little asymmetrical. And then what I want to do is actually turn on this mode so I can select the polygons behind, so that the cactus is actually see-through and I can select any polygons from any point. And I'm going to want to select the top of this, and we're going to resize it a little bit. We'll stretch it out. Maybe scale it down a little. I don't know. Make it look unique. Scale it in. There you go. That's kind of different. You can't really tell that they're exactly the same thing. So that's it. That is our simple cactus model. I hope you enjoyed this video, and expect many more to come soon.